Good evening, everybody. Welcome once again to our show, The Leader's Edge. And tonight, this is our 10th episode, and we have a special guest tonight. Let me introduce her properly by showing my slides so that I do her the honor of really doing it right. Our guest for tonight is Manalaysay, and she is going to talk about how to build a solid financial foundation. And Lee is a graduate of BS Psychology and AB Guidance and Counseling from the St. Scholastica's College. She is also a holder of the Masters of Science in Industrial Organizational Psychology from the De La Salle University. She is the Senior Marketing Director at the International Marketing Group, and she is the retired overall head of human resources of Amkor Technology, a proud franchise owner and operator of a banh mi kitchen at the Fisher Mall in Quezon City. So for those of you hankering for a taste of authentic Vietnamese cuisine and you can't wait for the pandemic to be over, Lee also takes orders, So, but when the pandemic is over, do please visit her shop because it's delicious. I can speak from experience. So, at this point, I'd like to turn over the control of our show to Lee to tell us more about how to make sure that we have a solid financial future. Lee?
Hi, good evening, Dino. It's so nice to see you again. And give my regards to your mom. Hello, Dina.
Yeah.
All right. So thank you for the opportunity. And I have been looking forward to this session. It's been like a month since we have discussed this session. And tonight is the realization of that dream on my part because it's part of my advocacy ever since I have retired from Amkor. Well, a year ago. Yeah, it's been a year. It's been a
Amazing.
year that yeah. And from being a corporate person, I am now a happy retiree. I would like to emphasize on that adjective, happy retiree, because not all retirees are happy, right?
That's true. That's true. I do see you smile more often and look more relaxed. You're more in control of your time and your activities.
Right, right. And I've never been happy in my life. Had I known that, I'll be experiencing this, oh, what do you call this? The joy. I don't call it happiness because happiness is different from joy. The joy is from within.
That's
So
true.
I could have retired like at the age of 40, right?
Yes.
And
I think I think you found what is called in Japanese your ikigai. In other words, you
right.
found your meaning for living. Wow. So do tell us more.
All right. So I'll be going straight to my presentation. So
Okay.
you can appreciate more of my journey. I would like to call it a journey, okay? Because it's not only building solid financial foundation, but I would also like to share with you my passion as a corporate person when I was still in Amcor,
That's right.
and to my transition as an entrepreneur. I call myself as a mompreneur because most of the time I'm now home. I just go out of the house 3 times a week. Well, because of the pandemic, I'm also scared to go out. So
Mm,
as much as possible, I just visit the store 3 times a week. And digitally, I can monitor them,
mm.
and work at the same time and perform my role as a mom
Wow.
50% of the time.
Mm.
All right,
So
so I'll
it
go. I'll
has-
go to my presentation now, Dino.
yeah, go ahead, go ahead. I'm excited.
Okay, so excited to share with you my journey. Okay, for 16 years, Dino. Okay, for 16 years, I have been a corporate person in Amcor Technology Philippines, and I started my career there as a trainer. You know, um, your speakers bureau firm was one of the first training institute that we have invited in Amcor. And at
Yeah,
the
that's true.
time,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
all my managers have attended the Winner's Edge.
That's true.
with your
It's
mom.
either winner's edge, team building, or presentation skills. I remember it all.
Yes, you still remember Jerry Agnes, right?
Oh, how, I can't forget Jerry Agnes, of course. I'm trying to look him up on Facebook, as a matter of fact. Hmm.
No, yeah, I think he's not active in any of social medias.
Oh,
All
okay.
right. So I started there as a trainer for 13 years. I ended up my career as HR head last year because the last 3 years of my stay, I was able to perform the role of the overall HR head. I was fortunate enough to be given that role by the president himself,
Hmm.
who have entrusted me the whole organization and managing people, 9,000 people to be exact. Just like a mom, it's a lot. It's a lot. And HR training and HR are two different, two different discipline. If you're in training, you're just like an actress. You're so popular. You're doing all the right things. But once you're in HR, okay, the role shift drastically. You're not the antagonist.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's a different world. But yeah,
Right.
so I just decided to, put an end into a 16-year career last
Wow.
year. And
Hmm.
if you would see on the left hand side, those are the gentlemen in the executive staff. Fortunately, I was the only lady in the team. So I was so proud that all these men were following me because they don't have a choice. You put me in this position,
Yeah,
right?
it's true.
But I
That's true.
never I never left my passion. I never stopped my passion in training. And as you
Mhm.
would see on the lower picture, I still conduct training on skills based like customer sensitivity and communication.
Mhm.
And on the last picture on the left, this is now my advocacy on sharing the financial literacy or education through IMG. And on the right hand side, you would see look at how I look. It's so corporate, right? Yeah, your,
True.
your mom taught me how to dress up, the color combination, the posing. I just don't have
Yeah,
the hat like she has, right?
yeah. That's her signature. Hmm.
And after I left the corporate world, I was normally in my jeans and t-shirt and rubber shoes. But I feel, more relaxed, more
Yeah,
relaxed.
that's
And
true.
on the center is my store in Fisher Mall. That's my store.
Oh, there
Um,
it
yeah,
is.
we started at the fourth level of
Oh,
the
okay.
of the cinema, beside the cinema. But this coming September, we're going down on the lower ground, so that people can access us immediately. Right. So
That
we are
that.
more strategically located,
Mm-mm.
uh, and then you can easily find us at the lower ground. So visit us one time.
Yeah, I will.
Right. So please,
And
please do.
yeah, that makes so much sense because the theaters are closed because of the pandemic. So bringing your franchise closer to where the foot traffic is makes absolute business sense to me.
That's right. That's right. And even our customers and our partners, food partners like Grab and Food Panda, they are so happy because they don't need to go up to fourth floor. It's a waste of time for them.
Mm. Yes.
Uh, all right. Moving on, you would
Yeah.
see the word retire, right?
Yeah.
Retire in the slide. And I would like to put another meaning into the word retirement. When we
Okay.
say retirement, right, we always associate retirement as old age, your energy level is down, you're
Mhm.
old, right? But, it's a matter of perspective. For me, retirement is retiring or putting another tire into your vehicle, which is your life.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
I like the
Yes,
analogy.
right.
Uh,
It's just like
putting
in a
a
pit stop. In a
yeah,
pit
like a
stop,
fresh
wherein
kid.
you stop for like how many seconds? One second or two seconds, and you just have to change the tire immediately. And after
That's
that, you can move very fast. Once again, yeah, once again, and you know, being a retiree at the age of 49, I am so energized and excited to go on to my next passion, which is the ikigai. Okay, the ikigai, which is still teaching and
Yeah.
pursuing my passion in the business side, and
Mm.
still giving employment to people in my own way.
Yeah.
Right. So where am I now? So I would like now to go on to my advocacy on financial education.
All
So
right.
this is it. So if you would see the title, The Secret to Saving and Building Your Future, Taking Control of Your Money. So
Mm.
the savings is not an easy task. You know, you would say, okay, just save. But the problem is I don't have anything to save.
Yes. And that's true for a lot of people right now. Yeah.
It's easier said than done. Okay, start to save, start to invest. But
Mm.
most of the people would ask how. Okay, this is the what. What am I going to do? Save. But how am I going to do it? It's the execution. So I would like to share and unlock the secret on how to build a solid financial foundation. Okay,
Okay.
so let us start with the not so good investment. All right.
All right.
First, let us try to let us try to go back to those moments on those experiences that we had in one way or the other that we were scammed, right? So you would I think you would know the lady on the right side. That's yeah, Rose Balajay and the Aman Futures
Oh.
Group, right? So fortunately or unfortunately, I work in Multitel just to share with you my experience. But at the time, I didn't have any knowledge on what the nature of the business was because I was part of the HR, and
Okay.
the company closed down, and we were not able to get our separation pay. It
Oh.
was one part of my life which gave me a lesson on what's the right investment and what is not right. So those were the scam days. So if there are people who would be coming into you and asking for you to invest a good amount of money, and in 3 months your good earned money would have like 20 to 30% interest, then forget it,
Mm.
because it's a scam. If it's too good to be true, just forget it, right?
That's
So I would just like to warn everyone on this matter before we go to the right investment scheme.
okay.
Okay, this is in Tagalog, but I would just like to share with everyone that if there are two boots, utang or credit, right, and ipon, which is investment, people would normally line up and have the time to go to this booth wherein you have to fill out a form to get a credit card. And after you filled up the credit card, that agent will give you a one bucket of popcorn and an umbrella, right?
True.
You are
True.
enticed by the umbrella and the bucket
Mm.
of popcorn, but not knowing that you have already signed a credit card loan,
Mm.
a vehicle for you to take a loan. But in terms of investment, like there will be someone who will be offering you free webinars on how to invest correctly. You would just say, I don't have time. I have so many things to do, right? Yeah. But
Mm.
the truth is, if that Shopee application in your phone gives you like a notification, you have time to check what's on sale.
Yes.
This is a reality of life, reality bites. But I
Mm.
would just like to share with people, with your audience, with our audience, uh, the reality of life. And you know we just have to be aware of where are we going to focus on our time and energy. Okay, so let us start first by differentiating what is the difference between savings and investment. All right. So
Okay.
savings. when we talk about savings, it's more of a short term. Short term meaning you can pull out your money anytime. This
Mm.
is for your emergency fund. And where do you put your money? Normally in a bank. Okay? Whether
True,
it's
true.
ATM, you can go to the bank, withdraw your money over the counter, deposit. So it's very accessible. But do you know how much interest rate banks are giving at nowadays? How about you,
Next to
Dino?
nothing. Next to nothing. I know that. In fact, I changed my account from an ATM card because I got hacked twice, and my
Mm-hmm.
son got hacked twice as well. So we both shifted over to a passbook account out of a concern for the safety of our funds. Oh, while we're at it, I should let the audience know that the reason why you're not seeing Lee in her picture is I think it's the iPad not allowing two functions to occur simultaneously. That's why what we're seeing is the avatar of her husband. But rest assured, Lee is here with us and she's sharing her slides. It's just that the video feed of her isn't available while she's sharing the screen. So I just want the audience to know that it's not that Lee is camera shy or anything like that at all. It's just it's we're interviewing her through her iPad, so that's one of the limitations of it. Do go on, Lee.
All right. So if you want to get your money anytime, you could just put it in the bank. That's
Hmm.
for emergency money. But if you want to make your money grow, and then we call it as an investment, then we have to put it in a vehicle wherein it would yield a higher interest rate. And
Hmm.
that could be a mutual fund, a stocks, or a direct stocks or indirect stocks. So we'll be talking more about the investment in my later session. All right.
Okay.
Okay. So I would just like to share with you some statistics of retirees because I am a retiree myself, and retiree 2% are financially independent. Only 2% of the population are financially independent, and 23% are still working.
Hmm.
30% depend on charity, and 45% depend on their children. This
Hmm.
is very alarming, or it's not a very good situation because we cannot always rely on our children
That's
for
true.
our future,
Hmm.
right? Because they'll be having their own lives, right?
Yes.
So, what are the reasons why we cannot invest and start saving? Let us look at on the left hand side. At the age of 20, okay, you'll be asking a person, can you save now? Can you start saving? And they will give you a reason. I can save. I need to enjoy life while single. So
Yes.
here, all the YOLOs, di ba? You only live once message will be given to you. But let me correct that statement. We only live once. Okay? We only live once. We only live once, and we have to make the most out of our life, right? And at the age of 30, you would be giving the same excuse. I cannot save because I'll be having my wedding, and I'll be buying a house for my family. Okay, another 10 years, 40, I cannot save yet because my money will go to my kids' education, and I'll be purchasing a house and a car at the age of 50, half century of your life, and nearing your retirement age, you would say, I cannot still save because my children will still go in college. Now, at the age of 60, can you save now? I can save. I have no more income. I'm retired. I was kicked out. I lost my job, and I am retired. At the age of 70, there, asking for financial support from children or charities because we don't have any choice anymore because we
That's
did not prepare for our future. What can you say about that, Dino?
I think that that message is going to resonate with so many of our people, so many of our listeners, because a lot of them have either been retrenched or declared redundant, or if they were part of a TV network, that'd be a lot of them who just suddenly lost their jobs and are frantically trying to figure out how to survive and pivot.
Right, right. I truly agree with you, Dino. We were both in HR, and some of my HR friends are calling me now, and they are now the one asking me how to start investing, and I asked
Yeah,
them why. Because there's a planned retrenchment. Okay, I
yeah,
told them this could be a crisis, it could be an opportunity for you. So you just have to look at the brighter side on it. And once you get the money, let's start to plan how you manage your money properly. All right. So failing to plan is planning to fail. And for those retirees, where do you see yourself when you retire? So while you're still at work, you have to have that end in mind, that while you're still working, you already have that blueprint in your mind. At the age of like 45, you'll be saying goodbye to the corporate world, and what would be your blueprint? It should be clear to you, because if you don't have any plan, you don't have any license to quit your job, because you would be doomed for life if you don't have any savings and investment. That's my advice to you,
mm,
right? And jobless, there are many people who are jobless right now, and let us start with the wrong money mindset.
ooh,
Okay, many people believe that financial education is only for the wealthy. All right, so you'll be inviting people to share to attend your financial education, and they would be just giving you like an excuse. I don't need to attend that because I'm not part of your group. You know, when they hear the word financial, they would associate this word with the wealthy people, and I would always revert to them and tell them the reason why they are wealthy because they attend seminars like this.
that's true. Oh,
Right?
we lost your screen share just now.
I'll go back.
Yeah, okay. Still, it's good for the audience to see what you look like again. So, all right, that's true. That perception is dead on accurate. A lot of them do think that way. Is there any
Do you know?
other? Yes. Is there any other wrong mindsets that? Okay.
Yes, there are many wrong mindsets here. So many people believe that solution to financial challenges is borrowing money. So they
Oh,
don't have any, yeah, they don't have any problem on where to invest, but their problem is who to go to, right?
right.
Because all the people in their community, uh, he had some appointments with these people just to borrow money, but
Mm,
unluckily, most of them do not have money.
that's true.
So that's a wrong mindset. Another
Mm,
one is some even rely on luck. So what's
mm.
this luck? It's the lotto, right? It's the sweepstakes. You know what?
True.
There's a trivia. Before you win in a lotto, okay, you have the probability of winning a lotto. You have to be struck by lightning 2 times on the same spot.
Oh my goodness, which is
Right,
impossible, of course.
exactly. So the moment you win a lotto, you must be very, very lucky.
Or
And you
lightning
don't,
stone.
yeah, you'll be doomed. And you don't want to depend your luck or your financial freedom on
Mm,
this lotto, right? On this piece of cardboard, wherein you will be lining up for like 2 or 3 times a week. Yeah.
okay.
And many people belong to a community of spenders who do not believe in preparing for their future. There's a
Mm,
saying, Dino, right? That tell me who your friends are, and I'll tell you who you are. So, what
mm.
kind of people do you go to? For example, if you when I was still in a corporate setting, every time we receive our paychecks, we would always say, "Oh, saan tayo? Okay, where do we go now? Where do you go now? Would it be
The
in
gimmick.
SM
Yeah.
Bikutan? Would it be in Rustans? Where? In
Okay.
Alabang Town Center? You know,
Oh
these
no.
are the people who surround me during that time.
Hmm.
And the thing is, I will not go out of that mall without carrying anything back home. I have to. I have to buy something, at least one luxurious item for myself. Right. That's why, when I go back to my old self, I would say I have spent this many hundreds of thousands to this one gadget, to this one bag, and now it's all there sitting up in my cabinet.
Yeah. Not really working for you. In other words, it's a sleeping asset.
Yeah, that's right. And I'll be sharing with you how am I turning my asset um, into a liquid, a cash flow later
Okay.
on.
Mm,
Okay, these are the wrong money mindset.
mm.
Another mindset is the low savings and high debt. Okay, many people use their credit cards as emergency fund. Okay,
Oh, mm,
yes. When you look at your wallet, do you have any money or how many cards do you have? Do you know I posted in one of my FB posts in my wall that before I was collecting credit cards and gym cards, fitness first, but now I remove everything and I would just keep the essential cards like Mercury Drug, Ace
oh yeah,
Hardware,
the Suki cards. Yes.
the Suki card, the credit cards will doom you
Yeah.
if you will not be able to manage it properly. I'm not saying that credit cards are all bad. No, I have. I just maintain one credit card, but I am just using it for emergency fund, the real emergency fund. Okay,
Mm,
if I don't have any cash, and for essentials. Most people don't know how to manage with their debts. Their debts, manage them. And
mm.
look at this. The debts rhymes with the word debt.
Yes, it
DEATE.
does.
Right?
That's why bank loans usually come with an insurance policy, just in case something happens to you.
Correct. Correct. And when you have so many debts, you'll be curtailed of your freedom. You
Mm,
cannot go outside. You cannot sleep well. You cannot even meet your friends because you do not know if the person would be among the crowd and you don't have any money to pay for
mm,
to him. Okay. Their salary move from hand to mouth. Okay. Meaning you get your salary, it's enough for you to buy the essentials, your food, and another thing is hand to hand. You get your salary, you give it to another person, and then pay off your some of your debts. And the last one is touch me not. These are the ATMs which are not with you anymore because it has been given to the person whom you had
yeah,
loan.
that's right.
You cannot see your salary anymore.
Mm,
You're entrapped. Okay, car loans, housing loans. These are the things that you are accumulating rather than investment. So it's so
mm,
hard that if we are in this situation, and if you have many debts, even if you want to retire, it will be hard for you to do so, right? Because you don't have any choice.
it's probably one reason why my wife and I, in the year 2003, practiced what we call plastic surgery, where I retired all three of my credit cards. I paid them all, and we just had this ceremony where we cut them up into little pieces and burned them, then buried them in the backyard. And I've never again gotten a credit card because everything suddenly became an emergency. The smallest thing became an emergency. So it was just getting ridiculous. So I said, from now on, we will not have any plastic.
Right.
And
That's what you call plastic surgery, huh?
yeah, Mm.
That's right. You know what? There are some people who would rationalize on using their credit card, and then they would say, "Yeah, it's an emergency. There's an emergency situation. What's the emergency for? You just went to the salon, but why did you use your credit card? It's an emergency because my hairdresser will be flying to New York tomorrow, and I will not be
Okay.
seeing him for another 6 months. It's an emergency that I need to have a hair color. What? You call it an emergency situation? My
That's more
God."
like vanity than an emergency. Yeah.
You know, people can give you lots of excuses just to use a credit card.
That's right.
Okay, if there would be one thing that I would like our audience to have a take home in this session, I would just like them to focus on this solid financial foundation. We are now on the building part, so let us look at first the right hand side
Okay.
wherein you would see a ladder, right? It's just like
Yes.
you know Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs, wherein the bottom part is the healthcare. We
Mm.
say that health is wealth, especially now we're in the pandemic. You know, health is very crucial at this point. That all that we need to do is for us to keep ourselves healthy,
Mm.
and by securing ourselves a very good healthcare plan, we'll be able to plan for our future, our present and our future, in terms of giving ourselves a very good healthcare program. And the next level is the income protection, which is the life insurance. I don't know how many from our audience already secured a life insurance. And some of us believe that, I don't need to start a life insurance because it's just a waste of money. And I would tell them, okay, then try dying if you don't have money. Okay, if you are the bread eater, if you're the breadwinner, what would happen to your bread eater? Would they still continue to eat,
That's
right?
right.
That's right. So it's a realization for me. Just to share with you my own testimony. Um, you know, we just got our life insurance. Well, last year. It
Oh,
was it was an awakening for us. Well, for myself, my dad already planned to have two life insurance for me. Okay, he got it when I was still like 20 years old, and I got two.
excellent.
He was so proactive. My dad was so proactive. But my husband and I were just, the doors were open, our realization opened only last year. That's why I was so passionate about this thing, because there was a death in the family, in our family. And then when we were asking if there's a life insurance, there's none. And there's no savings at all. But
Oh.
they have a big house, and they have three cars. So
Mm.
what we did is just to shell out our own money. But if
Mm.
we had that life insurance, that insurance would take over, right? So that's the beauty of having that income protection.
Mm.
And I cannot emphasize it more of its importance. So
That's right.
for all of our listeners, make sure that we have this two, two basic necessities in life.
Mm.
And on the third level is to eliminate debts. As you mentioned, we have to have that plastic surgery session
Yeah.
if we can, and just maintain just one for the real emergency use, and manage our debts. If we cannot buy something in cash, then let's forget it.
Mm.
Okay, you know what? I have um one friend. I don't know if you would, if you know her, Dr. Josette Dio. If
Uh,
you heard her name.
I can't say that I've run into her yet.
Yes, she had a very good story because she was a teacher in UP.
Okay.
Yeah, UP, and one of the planets was named after her. The Bio something. I forgot. You could research it and discuss it in another topic. And she said that because her house was so small, and items that will not fit through her door, she will not buy. That's
That
her,
makes sense.
that's her principle in life. For example, her son would like a piano, and then he would say, "Would that fit in our room, in our door?" They say, "No, then we cannot have it."
That's right.
It's practical, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
I mean, and not even
Okay.
a standing piano would fit through the doors. Just impossible. Yeah.
All right. So emergency fund, this is where we put our money in the bank. So we
Mm.
just have to have enough savings. Oh, by the way, how much savings do you have when you retire or when you lost your job? You should have like a 6 month emergency money, not only
Mm.
3 months, but 6 months. So
Uh,
you can sustain your living. Okay, and if you have extra money, once you have satisfied all the first four ladders or level, then you can start your investment. And what are
mm.
these investment? Buy condo, buy a farm, put money in your vacation fund, and yes, and jewelry perhaps. These are the investment. But again, we have to start from the bottom, just like building a house. What is the most important part of the house? It is the foundation, right? You don't build a house starting with a roof and a window. But reality bites, and reality speaks that this is how we invest. Look at the left hand side. When we
Mm.
have money, especially those who are a one-day millionaire, they would just put in their money in an investment, jewelry,
Mm.
right? Farms, because the neighbor has bought a farm, he should have also a piece of land.
Yes.
Because the cousin bought an SUV, he should also have an SUV.
Mm.
These are the investment. And once all the money he had were invested in a wrong way, then debts will start to pile up.
Mm.
And what happens is that the health part were taken for granted. And once the emergency strikes, then the financial house would start to crumble. That's the
Mm.
sad part. You know?
Even what you
So
mentioned about having at least 6 months worth of savings may not be enough because we don't know when the vaccine will be available. So, for the most part, we're really looking at, say, more than 6 months or maybe even a year before it's actually safe to go out.
yeah, yeah, yes, you're right, Dino, because we don't our situation is very uncertain. Just like two
Mhm.
weeks ago, we are in GCQ. And all of a sudden, it was declared NECQ, right?
That's right. Yeah,
So our economy is not that stable.
that's right.
When I was in Amkor, we we always tell each other about the security of our tenure, and we would say, "How safe am I here in this organization?" And I would tell them, "At 7:18, you are safe. You still have a job. But 7:19, I cannot promise you your job."
Oh man. Okay.
That's how certain we live in a VUCA world. We're so volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. And we have to live with that kind of situation. And we
Mm.
always have just to be ready anytime that will
That-
be surgically removed from that organization.
mm.
So, what is your situation right now? So, people fail financially for they build a weak foundation. All right.
Okay.
We don't want to say that they're not building their financial foundation, but some of them are building in a wrong way. In a
Mm.
wrong way. That's why we are correcting the the order of priority by what's the baseline up to the last level of savings and investment.
Okay.
How do we do that? All
Ah,
right, Dino, this is a very good concept, and I would like our viewers to have like a 10-second look, 10 seconds of their time to just to focus on the content of this slide. We call
that
this the
part,
Xcurve concept.
That, or they can hit screenshot. But yeah,
Right.
yeah, it pays to
Yeah, they,
study this. Yeah.
okay.
Hmm.
So I would just like to walk you through on this X curve concept. In
Okay.
life, there's the word life in the middle. And in
Hmm.
life, there are two ifs. Okay. What if we die too soon? And what if we live too long? So there are two situations that we need to give attention to.
Hmm.
And there are two X's on the slide. The first one is the violet. Is it a violet on your screen? It's a
Yes.
violet line
Hmm.
going up. And this line represents your younger years. When you say younger, we start at the age of 21 when we start working, right? So
Hmm.
21 up to 60, we have this active income and we're working hard for the money. Why do we work hard? Because we need to have food, shelter, clothing, save for the education, save for our health, and pay off our debt, loans, and bills. But as we grow older, okay, our responsibility should be going down.
Hmm.
We should be reaping the fruits of our labor, and when we grow older, okay, we should be having our own time, but we still have to have money. But
Hmm.
this time, it should be you should be getting the interest of those investment already. Okay, this is what we call the passive income, wherein you don't need to actively work, but you just sit down, sit back, and relax, and check on what are my dividends, how much is my dividend from this investment. That's how we should live life. We still need money because we still need to eat. We still need to have our house, clothing, health, and debt free. We should be debt free by the time. But look, try to look at the word health. It's all print in bold, right? Because
Right.
health at that age is very important now.
Hmm.
That's why when we die too soon, okay, we have to prepare for that life eventuality. We should have that income protection. We should have that life insurance. And then if we have lived too long, then we should have that long-term health care. Wherein there are three components. You have healthcare, you have life insurance, and you have your investment in the near future. That's
Ah.
how we should look at life.
Okay.
Yes, Dino, any comment? Any
Uh,
item?
so far, I understand the concept. I'm just curious now. I'm sure our viewers are too. How they can take actionable steps towards uh, the ideal future, the ideal image of what we are like when we retire. Um, I'm sure you have a
All
plan
right.
you can show us, right?
Yes, yes, and I'm excited to share this with you.
Okay.
Okay, okay. So, given that while we're still working, we have all this government assistance program, right? SSS Pag-ibig PhilHealth. But of course, the last one is kind of controversial this past few days.
That's
And
right.
and while you're working, when you receive your paycheck, all this contributions have been deducted from your salary. But rest
Yeah.
assured that when you retire, well, at least, okay, at least you'll be getting something from our government. But
Yeah.
this assistance are not enough. There are some limitations on it. That's
Mm.
why I would like to share with you how we are going to start building the solid financial foundation. But before that, I would like to share with you the prosperity formula because everything starts with the mindset, Dino. Okay? And the right attitude. The right attitude should be like this. The prosperity formula, or what we call the abundance formula, is the 10-20-70 rule. Once you get your income 100%, 10% of it should go to tithes. When we say tithes, some of you may be asking, am I going to contribute this to my church? Okay, not necessarily, but to any institution that gives you spiritual nourishment. That's what I'm always
Mm.
telling my participant. All right, it could be your family, you know, it could be an institution, a charitable institution, but that would be fine. And
Mm.
20% should be an automatic savings. I would like to emphasize that word automatic, because if you would just say, okay, I'll just put it in one envelope and then later on I'll be going to the bank. If I have time, then most likely you will never have that time. You will
Yeah.
not make that time. And the 70% would be on, you could just use this for your expenses. So this is how we should look at how saving should be. So income, then savings, and then expense. Okay. Tips how to manage debts. We need to run through this 7 or 8 tips so that we'll be able to have money to start with in terms of savings and investment. Because even if how much money we have right now, but our debt is higher than our cash flow, then we will not be able to start savings. So let us just start to manage our debts and how to survive in our future. First, we have to increase our cash flow or reduce our expense and increase our income. So right now, increase cash flow. Even those who are in the business, even those who are in the has work, right?
Hmm.
They have plenty of time in the house because they are working from home. So you have to think of other ways to increase your cash flow. And most of the corporate people becomes entrepreneur. They start to bake ube pandesal, they start to supply food, among their neighbors. You just have to think how you can increase your cash flow. If you
Yes.
don't have that capability or the skills to do so, then what are the things that you can control? You have to reduce your expense. For
Mm.
example, before you have this cable, internet cable, you have postpaid, postpaid cell phones. Start to think if you can convert to prepaid, if you can top up that cable because you're not watching anyway,
Mm.
right? If you have like if you go to the grocery and have one cart for like 8,000 every time you go to the grocery, then make a list and just write down the essentials. That can help you reduce your expenses and increase your income as much as possible. The
Mhm.
second item is don't go into more debt and live below your means. Live simply. Okay. Well, as I shared with my friends, we always go back to that voluntary simplicity life. And this pandemic is a great equalizer. Even if how rich you are, you just have to go back to the basics, right, Dino? Yeah.
Right. In fact,
You-
one of my friends who also used to work in the semicon industry, that's Willie Hinete, the husband of Tess
Ted.
Hinete.
Yes, yes, yeah.
Yeah. He once remarked that because now he's living in Cavite, he said, Dino, thanks to this pandemic, I seldom leave my house. And because I seldom leave my house, I seldom use my credit card. And because of that, it's unbelievable how much money I am avoiding spending. So I said, there's always a silver lining to every crisis that happens to us.
Agree, agree. And given this pandemic, you would discover that you have a talent on something, right?
That's true. That's
For
true.
example, yeah, for example, every every month I go to a salon to get my hair colored, right? For
Hmm.
for a dye. And
Hmm.
every time I go to a salon, I pay 2,500 to 3,000.
My, that's a lot.
That's a lot. And the moment we had this lockdown,
Mhm.
I colored my hair by myself. I
Oh,
just bought,
okay.
yeah, I just bought this 400 L'Oreal hair color treatment, and I made my own hair.
Learned a new skill.
Learn a new skill.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. And change habit of spending to habit of saving. So
Right.
again, there's no hard formula on savings. It's just a matter of changing your mindset. Do you want to be a saver, or do you want to be a spender? So at the end of the day, it's still your choice. And make a list of all your debts and pay off the high interest and low balance. Okay.
Mm.
So this is the time that we have to face the brutal facts, especially when our best friend Judith and Bill, started to visit our house. We just have to, bravely open this envelope and see how much bill we need to pay and when is the due date.
Mm.
You know, people would just when they started to receive this statement of account, they just put it in their drawer and then forget everything. And
Yeah.
but not knowing that this is this is a ghost that would haunt you
Yeah.
forever,
Mm.
forever. Okay. And consider liquidating non-income assets to pay debts. Okay, now that we have more time in the house, then start opening up your cabinets, start doing the 5S and housekeeping, and remove all the things that have been there for years, which are still usable, which you can send and give away and sell. Then convert those assets into money. There's a
Mm.
saying that there's treasure in trash, right? So
Yeah. In other
instead of putting all these things into your cabinet and molds will start
words,
um, to grow, then clean it, sell it, then make money, and then use that money to start a business. That would be your startup capital.
that's true. As a matter of fact, we've been doing that with some degree of humor because apparently the kids do get Christmas gifts every year, and while rummaging through the closets, we discovered that some of those gifts still in their wrappers or still in their containers were never opened. And
Really?
yeah, they do have some value. Like for example, a backpack that's a genuine Coach that my
Right.
daughter has never used has value. So it's being promoted online now because there are so many bags, so many things that we can offer up for sale. Hmm.
Correct, correct. And there would also be like some notions of other people that would be asking me, why are you selling? Don't you have any money anymore? You know, and you would just simply say, no, I would just like to declutter. How
That's
about you? Don't you declutter your house? What are
yeah.
you doing this quarantine? Do you just binge eating? Do you just spend your time watching Netflix? Or how about cleaning up your cabinet and sell some of your stuff and convert it into cash?
That's right. In fact, in
Okay.
some places now they're doing barter because it's faster,
Yes,
it's easier.
that's right. That's right. Barter. They might be needing your item, which they can exchange for something else, right?
Right.
And lastly, and lastly, you have to get a good coach to guide you
Hmm.
so that you'll be able to validate that what you're doing is on the right track.
Hmm.
So we have shared with you the difference between savings and investment, and the investment is on this portion. It's the
Okay.
power of compounding interest, and this is the formula, which is given by Albert Einstein. Don't ask me how did he get that 72? I don't know. That's given. Okay, and it's simply you just have to divide 72 and then divide it to the interest rate, and that's the number of years to double up your money. To have
Hmm.
an illustration, okay, for example, there are three of us in this room. All of us started at the age of 29. Then we put in like 100,000. At the age of 65, we'll be having different amounts of
Hmm.
returns because, for example, myself, I put my money in a 4% yield. Then 72 divided by 4%. So every 18 years, my money would double up. So at
Hmm.
the age of 65, I'd just be getting 400,000. But
Yeah.
you, Dino, you put in your money into an investment vehicle which would yield 8%, then 70 divided by 8, every 9 years your money will double up. So at the age of 65, you'll be getting 1.6,
Mm.
all right? And another, maybe perhaps Rock, would be investing at 12% interest by 72 by 12. Every 6 years, his money will double up. So he'll be, the richest among the three of us at the age of 65. He'll be getting 6.4.
Right.
So what's our formula here? So the younger we start savings, and we just have to be vigilant and check which are the vehicles that would yield higher interest. Then we should be putting our money. But again, the money that we'll be putting in should be a long term, meaning you don't need that money in the next 5 years. Well, at least. Okay. So again, it's money, savings, short term for the next 5 years, put it in a bank. For the next 5 years beyond, put it in an investment like mutual fund. So it is not enough to save your money, but we need to grow it. Again, at the end of this session, I would like us to have a mindset wherein we have the short term, putting it in a bank, and the long term, putting it in a mutual fund, and building our own solid financial foundation by securing ourselves of that long term healthcare and life insurance. That's all there is to it. Then we will be assured of our present life and our future.
Okay.
So where do we get our money to invest? So these are small things.
Yeah.
Dino, I think you're not new to this slide, right?
Yes.
I think
Oh man.
you even took a picture of this.
Yes, I did. Oh,
Okay,
this.
a small
That
hole
is
will sink a
amazing.
ship, right?
Yeah.
Small holes can sink a big ship. Okay, so what are the small items, ticket items like soft drinks? 25 per can. I was
Mm-hmm.
a soft drinks addict before, Dino. When I was still in Amkor, I don't
Yeah.
drink water. I drink Coke
Oh
three
my God.
times a day.
Oh Lord. That,
Really.
that'll
And you
cause
see,
diabetes eventually.
and you have seen my weight before. You have seen my physique, right? From
Yeah.
136 to 115.
Oh
That
my gosh.
was,
Okay.
So I started to cut off my soft drinks, and for example, just spending 25 pesos per can. You drink two cans a day. That's 1.5 monthly cost, and the annual cost is 18,000. You put that 18,000 in a 12% interest yield. At 20 years, you'll be having 1.5, and that's only soft drinks,
That's right.
Okay, so what are the other things that you can save? Then cut off like coffee and then cigarettes, 80 pesos per pack. So
Mm-hmm.
look at that, 4.8 million in 20 years.
That's right.
So investing and savings can also change your lifestyle.
Mm.
You can have a healthy lifestyle if you start savings and cut off these items.
Yep.
And gimmick, eating out. Oh, this one, I was so guilty about this. Hair maintenance, curling hair, straightening hair. See?
Yeah.
Oh, if I invested that, yeah, perhaps 20 years ago, I could have like 2 million already.
Mm.
I just started last May. Why not going to the salon?
Mm.
But it's never too late. I
Yes.
can still catch up.
I think that's an important message to get out there to everybody listening. It's never too late.
It's never too late.
Yeah.
Yes. As long as you have the will to do it. Because planning and execution are two different things. You may have the very good plan, the best plan you've ever
Mm.
had. But in terms of execution, you would just say next month, next year. All right? We just have to do it now, immediately. As I mentioned, planning without execution is just a dream or it's just a delusion. So what
Mm.
do we want now? Now that I have shared with you the proper solid financial foundation, having the right mindset, starting saving on some amount to start with your business and have that additional cash flow. Start
Yeah.
your savings and start your investment. You have time to execute by following this solid financial foundation. Start with your healthcare, followed by your life insurance. You have to manage your debts or eliminate it if possible.
Mhm.
Emergency fund by putting some into the bank and start your investment. Grow your money in order of this priority so that you can build a strong financial foundation. And with
Mhm.
that, I would like to wish everyone, Dino, all your listeners to
Yeah.
have a financially blessed life, not only by sharing your treasure, but also your time and talent to others. Thank you very much, Dino.
You're
And
very
back to
welcome,
you.
Lee. And before you turn off your slide share, let me just tell the viewers out there, if you have an opportunity to hit your print screen, do so now so you can see Lee's email and mobile number. So in case you need advice, financial advice, she's the perfect person to approach and contact. Again, thank you, Lee. So let me therefore allow Lee to end the screen share so we can see her face again. There you are. Wow.
Hi, I'm back.
Yeah. Truly very good advice and insights into the the habits that we have and the mindsets that we have that are so wrong that can still be changed because it's never too late. So if there's something that you'd like to leave as a thought, like a personal slogan, for example, that you believe in that might help our viewers have the right mindset towards money, what would it be?
All right. Thank you. First, I have 3 points. I have 3 points to share. First, you have to have that end in mind. What do you want in the next 5 years? Okay, where do you want to see yourself? How much money do you want to have?
Yeah.
Okay, it should be very clear. Second, how to get that money, how to get that cash flow. You have to have a definite plan. And third, you have to execute. Okay?
Yeah.
You have to
Plan
plan,
with
you have
action.
to do, and you have to check your process if you are hitting the goal. That's all.
Yeah, that's wonderful. So at this point, I'd like to share my screen to let our viewers know once more that Lee does have her small business, the Ban Me Kitchen. Don't forget to pay that a visit. And our next episode, I think that's episode 11, will feature our guest Irene Corpus, who's going to talk about reducing the gender gap in cybersecurity. She will come to us direct from Abu Dhabi. And after her, we will have another lady who will talk to us about leadership skills for change management. So, on behalf of my fellow hosts, Rock Leo, Jet Ramos, Boom San Agustin, I'd like to also let everybody know that if you missed this show on FB, you can catch it on The Leader's Edge, which is on a YouTube channel. So, at this point, I'd like to invite everybody to write to Lee, do leave your comments in the space below here on FB. If you have any questions, she will be glad to respond to them. If you want to contact her directly, she'll be very thrilled to be your financial coach, because as she said, you don't just think about having a plan, but you need somebody to guide you. And I'm sure Lee would be happy to do that, right, Lee?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, yeah.
It's my
So
pleasure to guide your audience.
it has become her new ikigai. And so her new purpose in life is to help others like you, our audience, build a secure financial future. So with that, I'd like to thank Lee once again for accepting our invitation, for being such a gracious guest. And I'd like to wish everybody good night. Be well, stay safe, and remember that learning is a never-ending vista with endless horizons. Good night, everybody, and see you next time. Good
Good
night,
night.
Lee.
Thank you.
Welcome.
So lahat kami nangangarap kami maging regular employee, but that never happened. I have to improve my attitude. I have to keep learning. Mahirap po, pero I went out my comfort zone. And then blood, sweat, and tears, just like ang success story ninyo, and which made me where I am now. It's all because making that simple decision.
Let me ask you, I'm sure you are experiencing now even beyond what you imagined, correct? Oh, see? Because once you start moving in the right direction, pataas, no? I mean, it will just go, it will propel you to greater heights. Even if it is not yet true, you think, you believe, then you act like it is true. It will come true.
You know you're already earning money. These are the perceptions of the member. So you're afraid to go out to your comfort zone. It's from the media. You should go out outside your comfort zone. So take a lead. Good news normally are in the back pages. And if we're not wise enough, our thinking will be influenced by what we are bombarded on a daily basis. And show them the right way. Because I believe everyone's here have a winning edge. Thank you.
Wow. Yeah.